Yeah, today we're pleased to have Jerry Appleby with us today to give us a little history and insight as he walks us through the old school here. Jerry, this was built in 1906?
1923.
23 it was built? I already started this wrong and I said 1906. How come, wasn't there a date on here that says 1906 someplace?
I think Margie Peters done some research and I think decided it was built in 1923.
Okay. When did you come here, Jerry?
1962.
You've been as much as this institution as the building itself here. 1962?
Yes.
And it came out of Springfield.
Yep.
And started as a teaching what?
Well, I was social studies, physical education, and coached all three sports.
And when did you finally become a principal?
Well, about 1970.
Anyway, so you're going to walk us through the old school here, Jerry. Give us a little history here. It is dark, I guess.
This is the front steps going up to the main floor of the building.
Okay. How many students were here when you first started, Jerry?
Oh, I suppose, to guess, maybe 110.
Never changed much all the years, did it?
Oh, when reorganization in the county happened, we got up to about 135, 140.
Okay, to the left here, the first room is...
That's what we used to call room one. But, depending on how far back you want to go with the history of the buildings and the rooms, but this was just a general classroom. Had many different types of courses in it.
Okay. All right. Next we have the...
That's what we used to call room 3. We tried to schedule our classes with the larger numbers in this room since it's one of the bigger ones. This at one time, of course, was the part of the study hall. The big general study hall was made into 2 separate classrooms in probably about 1965. And this is one of the rooms that used to be the large study hall.
All right. Okay. Guess we can go across the hall here. Jerry, this is...
Yes, that's room 2.
Right next to the office.
Yes, the office upstairs. Room 2 is mainly the English room, Margie Peters. Rather a small room too. It was tough to get 20 students in here.
I remember it as a math room back in mid-70s. All right. The hallway. Did it change much over the years, Jerry?
Well, this hallway was also part of the large study hall that we made a hallway out of, and then we put student lockers in this hallway, along with the 2 rooms, the 2 large rooms that we had. But this area here was part of the study hall.
Get a little light here, see if it helps it any. Okay. And off to the right here, Jerry, is...
This room is what we call room 4. At one time it was 2 rooms. This was our business room or typing room. But at one time there was a petition there to petition this area off into 2 rooms, but the petition has been moved to make one larger room for the typing area, the business room. And way back, probably in the 1950s, this was considered to be the stage for the school, the stage area where plays were put on and things like this for general assemblies. someone came to the school to present a entertaining educational program on this was the stage area where they presented the program to the study hall students.
All right. And down the hall to the east here.
This was what we call room 5, and this again is one of the larger rooms that was made out of the study hall. And we had all students in one study hall before we went to the homeroom concept. This was room used for general science and biology and those type of classes.
Yeah, I remember cutting up my first frog in here. Only frog. Down toward the office, I guess, here. It's always been the business office, huh, Jerry? It's always been the business office up there, huh?
Yeah, that was the office, I think, since the school was built. It became very small on the superintendent, the principal's office, the business manager, and the secretary all housed that small office for the last few years that we used this building.
But no one was as excited as you as getting a new high school, huh, Jerry?
Well, we sure were running out of space because of the new requirements set by the State Department of Education, and of course you always try to want to offer a program for students that would be college-bound students and also vocationally bound students. Why there was many different courses needing to be offered to the students for them going on later in life, and the building really did get small with all the programs that were needed to be offered. Probably the biggest pinch we had is when the State Department required us to put in computers, and every student graduating from high school now has to have a half-credit of computer science, and we just had no room whatsoever for, say, 20 or 25 computers. So that really brought on the smallness of our building and the lack of space.
Jerry, when did this become the Jones County High School? How many years was it?
Well, in 1978, Draper tuitioned their students over here to Murdo, and in 1979, then the two school districts joined and become the Jones County School District.
And when did they finally move over to the new school, Jerry?
I believe our first class over in the new school was in 1989. We just finished up our second year in the new high school.
And how many superintendents did you go through? You've been here for...
Well, when I started in 1962, there was a superintendent they hired that same year as I came, John E. Madigan. He stayed for 1 year, and then Dr. Morris Hoagland came in, and he stayed for 5. And after Dr. Morris Hoagland left, Jack Donahue came in, and he was here until now Mr. Cranston is the superintendent of schools here.
Yeah. All right, I'm downstairs then, huh?
Okay.
Onwards down towards the gym here. This is always quite a walk, I remember. There's a gym down there, and off to the right is the...
This is kind of the second level of the building here, and you're looking at the old science lab room. We still have some things in there, but that's where you've probably done quite a bit of your chemistry and physics type of work.
Yeah. Okay.
Aside from the science room is we got the two restrooms going up there, boys and girls restrooms. Yeah.
There you go, the men's restroom there. Women's restroom. There we go.
That was the library room.
It always was, huh?
So some of the graduates from back in the 50s and early 60s, you'll probably remember the library as being up in the main study hall area. But once that main study hall area was broke up to make a couple of classrooms, then this was a classroom, but the library was brought down here, and this would then existed as the library until the time we moved out of the school.
This wouldn't hold a lot of books nowadays, would it, Jerry?
Pardon me?
Wouldn't hold a lot of books for no.
No, it was a pretty small room for much books.
It's a gym now, or the dungeon I remember used to call it. What was its proper name? Off to the left here was dark in there, we can't see much, but
That was made into a counselor's room. The one room here, and then the other room back over to the left is book storage. But this was the old counselor's room before we moved over.
okay. It's a little dark for my camera, I think. Well, this place has seen a lot of use, didn't it, Jerry?
Yes, there was a lot of basketball, I'm sure, was played in here before, in the early 50s, and of course, right up until the time of the closure, this was our practice facility for the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade basketball,
I remember as a kid they told us the Harlem Globetrotters played here at one time.
down here.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to run track in here. Fire escape there. Okay. This way is the furnace room.
For a great number of years, and then after he was gone, Dutch D. Wright took over and was head custodian for a number of years, and since those times, we've had several different ones come in.
Yeah, I remember working for Frank one summer.
I think Frank Nash and Dutch D. Wright were probably the longest term.
And back in here,
There
Jerry,
was the shower rooms and dressing rooms for the mini gym, or for the dungeon here.
and yeah, I remember they added on a photo room in there. Is that still there?
The what?
Photography room in there that he used to
Yeah,
have.
Mrs. Peters had a dark room built back in the corner back in there so she could develop her pictures. The paper and the annual.
All right. Well, what's going to ever happen to the building, Jerry? Or do you have any idea yet?
Well, that hasn't been decided yet. I think sometime in the future this building will be demolished and taken away, and this area up here will be leveled out and possibly be used for some other purposes, of parking or whatever, but sometime in the future I'm sure it will be tore down.
Well, Jerry, you glad you spent, or were you never thought you'd spend this many years here, did you? When you first came out of college?
And you were what?
Thought you'd spend this many years here. You probably weren't even planning.
Well, I'm trained in business of education. Sometimes you don't spend this many years in one area.
No. I want to thank you here for years of service. And how many years now, Jerry?
Oh, I don't know. I lose track. 29 or 30.
I suppose. Well, I'm sure that we all appreciate it as students and the public too.
Yeah.
So you outlasted the building itself even.
Yes. I really enjoyed being in Murdo and Jones County. It's been very, very nice.